So I understand you might be having some troubles with service, a certain part of the sales process. I'm going to come up and I'm going to ask you to understand what's going on. Because here's the thing. There might be something going on in your life that doesn't have anything to do with this. It's impacting you. And I have to understand that. You might not know anything about the process, and that's why you're not doing it. You might not know anything about the product, the contract, the service. And you know what? What I was about to coach you on was completely wrong. It's the sales 101. I can't roll up on a customer, walk in and be like, you want some of a BlackBerry? Because they're like, I'm good, man. I don't think I need it. No, you're about to be sold a BlackBerry. I need to ask. I need to listen to what they say. They'll talk about the intention, the pulse. I have to listen to what you say, and then I have to change my message. If I don't do that, I'm out, gone. Now, here's the thing. A lot of you say, well, okay, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. I'll give it a try, and I'm going to see. Because here's what I know. I know that if I do a good job at this, what happens? They come back to me. They tell me and they come back. If I do a good job at this, what do? They tell everybody in the store, right? Guess what? Dude came up on me and coached me. And it worked. Whoa, right? So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you about something specifically. If I don't know what to do, if this is brand new information, I know you've had this masterful coaching session, whatever, here's what I'm going to do. When I get back in my store, my first interaction, I'm going to walk up to somebody, I'm going to put my ego in my pocket, and I'm going to go up and say, if there's one thing that I could help you with, if there's one thing that I could do to make you better, and within your control, right? It's not about I'm going to give you more money or more resources. If there's one thing I could do to make you better on the floor, make you whatever it might be, what could I teach you about? What could I train you on? What could I do for you? And you ask that question, right? Blue sky, wide open, see what they have to say. Now, one thing I know about this generation is they have a voice, right? They may not give you right out of the gate. Okay? But if I explain to them, hey, listen, I want to help you. I know your personal goals. I know you're trying to buy a house. I know you got some student loans to pay off. Here's what I want to do. Is I want to try to get you better so you can hit those goals. So you can hit those numbers so you can achieve those personal goals in your life. So if there's one thing that I can do, what would it be? What could I train you on? What could I educate you on? And listen to what they have to say. Okay? Here's the thing. When you do this, what they say may not be the most important thing in the world, but in their mind it is. This first coaching interaction, you go with it. You go with it on that end. You don't change it. If they think it's important, then you say, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to help you with this. We're going to get better at this. And the next time around, it's going to be my turn. Right? We're going to go back and forth. If you ask them this question, they talk about, I don't know how to build rapport. Somebody walks in that door, I don't know what to do. Well, that's not that important. Obviously, we know it's very important, right? But if we say, no, let's talk about this, you lost. So I'm going to listen to what they have to say and ask that question. I'm going to listen to what they have to say. If I don't have that information, I'm going to go find it. Because I want to be that knowledge broker. I want to be that expert. I want to be the person that delivers that information to them so they come back to me. Now, here's the thing. Now I get to coach them. I get to give you the advice. I get to give you the direction on how to get better based off what we talked about. And here's the rule. One thing. Joe mentioned it. I'm going to mention it again. You get one thing to coach on per interaction. One thing. If I give you 5 things, and one is very, very easy, and one is very, very hard, and there's 3 in the middle, which one do you do? Easy one. Why? Because it's easy. It's low-hanging fruit. If I build a relationship and we're friends, and you want to impress me, you're going to do that and come running back and look what I did. I did the easy one. Right? I'm going to give you one thing. I'm going to coach you on that. I'm going to give you that advice. I'm going to give you that direction. But here's the thing. Anytime I coach somebody, I know that I got to tell you that maybe you're not doing something right. Maybe you're making some mistakes. Maybe you have to change. I talked about trust. I talked about friendship. I talked about that relationship. Do you like to hear negative feedback? Who likes negative feedback? Nobody. No, you don't. If I come up on you and I tell you you're doing a terrible job and you need to screw this up, you don't want to hear it. Right? Nobody wants to hear that. If we built trust, and if I tell you you're doing something wrong, it hurts, it damages. You know what? Somebody said it first thing this morning. I called it out. They said it's a sensitive generation. This is the most sensitive generation there is. Right? They don't want to let people down. Even if I'm the most gentle person in the world and I tell you got to change the way you're doing it, there's a notion that I was doing something wrong. You've damaged me a little bit. If I let you walk away right now, I coach you up on how to get better, I tell you what you did wrong, what you got to do. And if I stop right here, what do? man, I was trying. I told him what my problems were. I told him what I needed help with, and he listened to me, and he told me I was doing something wrong. He told me, man, this just, right? So I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to do this one, and this is the hardest thing in the world for me to do. I got to give you some love. I got to give you some praise, because I just gave you some feedback on how to get better. I gave you some feedback on what you weren't doing right. I coached you up. Now I'm going to pick you up, because you're down a little bit. So I'm going to give you some praise on something you're doing well. In some situations, you scratch your head and you're like, man, there's not a whole lot of praise I can give this person. I want to try this, but they're just not doing a whole lot real good right now. Cool. You know what I'm going to praise you on? Sharing. I asked you a question, and you told me the truth. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for opening up and sharing, because I know how hard it was for you. Okay? Here's the thing. We work in a sales program, and we have a lot of emotional kids. I get kids in there, and I know that they're sensitive, and I know it's going to be very, very, very difficult. I might even give them the compliment sandwich. That's where I pick them up, and I tell them, hey, you're doing a great job, but gotta do this a little bit better. Man, you're really doing great here. I might bookend it with compliments, but now I can't stop here. If I stop here, what do they do? Yeah, you're killing it. Right? He told me how good I was. No. No. Here. Now we can be challenged. Here's the thing about the challenge. The challenge has to be two things. It has to be very, very specific, and it has to be very, very actionable. It can't be, go get better. It means nothing to me. It has to be specific. It has to tie back to that coaching element based off what I found out, what your need was, and I'm going to give you a challenge. If it's something about a sales process, if it's something about rapport building, whatever it might be, I'm going to say, here's what I'd like you to do with your next 3 customers, next 5 customers, next 2 interactions. Whatever it is, I want you to try this. We'll give that specific direction. That's your challenge. That's your next step. Okay? We agree? We feel good about this? Cool. Go do it. Now, my next interaction, and this doesn't take that long. I can do this. I talked you through the whole process, and I said it time and time again. I talked you through the process in 10 minutes. You can do this in a short, succinct interaction. 5 minutes. I can roll up on somebody, ask these questions, give them some direction, advice, give them a challenge. Now, here's the next thing. When I come back around, when I follow up with this person, and it's going to happen the next day, whatever it is, if they do this and it works, they're coming to me. Okay? They're coming to me to tell me, I did it and it worked. Cool. What's next? Let's keep this ball rolling. When I follow up, what's the first thing I do? When I have my next coaching session, my next interaction, what's the first thing I ask about? The challenge. We don't get to coach on something else until I know that we succeeded at that challenge. And